Okay, so where did we leave our last scene? Do you remember?
Uh,
No?
Not really. No.
Okay, so we are going to start this scene today. Okay, Act 4 and Scene 1. The court at Malfi. Uh, it was actually, in the last scene we left it, there was Duchess and Vasola. They were talking to each other when Vasola went to take to the Duchess to the prison, to the palace. Okay, so now we are starting from there. It's Act 4 and Scene 1. Now she has reached, at her palace, and now she is serving her present. So the court at Malfi, now serving as a prison, enter Ferdinand and Basola. Okay. Now she is not as the Duchess there, as she used to live, but now she has been put into prison. So Ferdinand, how doth her sister Duchess bear herself in her imprisonment? So Ferdinand is asking, how is she dealing with her present Basola? Nobly. I'll describe her. She's sad as one long used to it, and she seems rather to welcome the end of a mystery than shun it. A behavior so noble as gives a majesty to adversity. You may discern the shape of loveliness more perfect in her tears than in her smiles. She will muse for hours together, and her silence, methinks, expressed more than if she spake. So, this is how Basola is describing her um, behavior in the present. So he is describing it as noble. Okay, so it means she is not giving up in the prison, and everything here he has described like it is as a behavior so noble as gives a majesty to adversity. This is how it is showing the how is she dealing with the adversity, which where she has been, um uh, you know mm, okay, when she has gone through such adverse things in her life, so she is dealing very nobly with all the things which she has faced in her life. And then he's talking about it, his tears are perfect, uh, and he's saying more perfect in her tears. She looks more perfect in her tears than her smile. So this is how she's dealing with the adversity in the present, how well she's dealing with it. Ferdinand, her melancholy seems to be fortified with a strange disdain. So this is how he is. Ferdinand is, you know, he's not happy on this thing that she is, how she is living there in the present. It means he wanted to, he wanted to torture her. He wanted to see her in a very, you know in a very sorrowful way, but the way she is living there, the way the way Basola has described her, this is something very um, uh, the thing which is disturbing Ferdinand. Basola, this so and this restraint, like English mastiffs that grow fierce with dying, makes her too patiently apprehend those players she's kept from. So this is how she's dealing. She's living there. He's saying that she has been put there in order to feel those sufferings. But the way Basola is describing, like he's saying that she is taking those all players from which we have, from which we wanted to keep her away. So, and then Ferdinand curse upon her. I will no longer study in the book of another's heart. Inform her what I told you. So Ferdinand has given some message to Vasula for his sister. So he's saying with these words, he was not really happy after hearing how she was living in the prison. So he Ferdinand is saying, just give my message to her. So exit Ferdinand and enter Duchess. Sola, all comfort to your grace, Duchess. I will have none. Pray thee, why dost thou wrap thy poison pills in gold and sugar? So she knows what they are doing with her. They have. She has been gone uh, through such suffering, so she knows. And Basola was behind these all things, but the way now he is meeting with the words, like the words he's using. So Duchess is saying, why are you behaving like this? You're just trying to sugar, to to cover these all poison in words, like in sugar or gold. So Visola, your elder brother, the Lord Ferdinand, is come to visit you and sends you word, because once he rashly made a solemn vow never to see you more. He comes in the night and prays you gently, neither torch nor taper shine in your chamber. He'll kiss your hand and reconcile himself, but for his foe he dares not see you. So he's telling about Ferdinand's promise, which he made, that once Ferdinand said that he's not going to meet her sister again. So this is what Basola is saying, that Ferdinand wants to come to you, but because he had vowed that he will not see you again, so uh, that you. So he's saying that when Ferdinand comes here in your rooms, you don't have to light your room, because he doesn't want to see you, but he will just kiss you. He'll just kiss your hand and reconcile himself. Oh, that is, at your prayer, take hence the lights. He's come. So Ferdinand enters there. Enter Ferdinand. Ferdinand, where are you? Duchess, here, sir. Ferdinand, this darkness suits you well. Duchess, I would ask your pardon. So she's asking for pardon, his pardon. Ferdinand, you have it. So he is granting pardon to her. For I count it the honorablest revenge, where I may kill to pardon. Where are your cups? So Ferdinand is saying that it is better to give pardon to someone than taking the revenge, or when you are able to kill someone, when you have authority or when you have power and you are able to kill someone, then at that time, at that point, it is better to grant pardon to them. Okay. Then he's asking, where are your cubs? That is whom? So Ferdinand, call them your children, for though our national law distinguish bastards from true legitimate issue, compassionate nature makes them all equal. He's saying that although our law, distinguishes them, because he is still calling them bastard, but he's saying, but compassionate nature makes them all equal. So Duchess, do you visit me for this? You violate our sacrament of the church, shall make you howl in hell for it. So she's saying that you have separated us, Antonio and Duchess and the children, uh, uh, and she's calling it a sacrament because they were married. So you have separated us in this way, and she's saying that you are going to get the punishment of this in hell. So Ferdinand, it had been well. Could you have lived thus always? For indeed, you were too much in delight. but no more. I come to seal my peace with you. Here's a hand. So he's saying that it was good when you were unmarried, or you lived, you know, uh, unmarried. So where he's saying, but you were in too much light, and so that's why too much light. He is just saying like you were free to do. So that is why you married. But now he's saying that now you were too much in the light, but no more. Now I have taken back these all things. So he's saying that I come to seal my peace with you. Here's a hand. So he gives her a hand. Okay. So gives a dead man's hand. Okay. That was not his hand, but that was another man's hand, and that was a dead man's hand, to which you have vowed much love, and the ring upon it you gave. So he is giving her a hand, which according to Ferdinand, he wanted to show her like it was the hand of Antonio. The Duchess, I affectionately kiss it. He kisses the hand. Ferdinand, pray do, and bury the print of it in your heart. I leave this ring with you for a love token, in the hand as sure as the ring. Do not doubt, but you shall have the heart too. When you need a friend, send it to him that owed it. You shall see whether he can aid you. So here, he's just saying that Ferdinand was, uh, he just pretended that that was the hand of Antonio, and he just at the end he's just trying to say that when you need her, so just call her. Sorry, when you need him, he's talking about Antonio. So when you need him, just call him and see whether he comes to aid you. He was just showing her that now Antonio is dead. So Duchess, you're very cold. But she thought that was not the hand of Antonio, but that was the hand of Ferdinand, and Ferdinand gave his hand to the Duchess to kiss his hand, as a way of respect, are the way they used to meet. So I fear you are not well after you travel. Lights, oh horrible. So he asks for light, or maybe the lights were turned on. So Ferdinand let her have lights enough. So he asks for light, for light, Ferdinand to light up the room, and but he exits quickly. Then Duchess, what witchcraft doth he practice that he had left a dead man's hand here? So and then, when the room was lit up, then she knew that that was not the hand of Ferdinand, but that was a dead man's hand. Okay, then here is discovered behind a traverse the artificial figure of Antonio and his children, appearing as if they were dead. So at that point, she just discovers, or she just sees that there was a kind of picture shown on the wall, and there were shown Antonio and his children, her children. So Basola, look you, here's the piece from it. It was taken. He does present you this sad spectacle, that now you know directly they are dead. Thereafter you may wisely cease to grieve for that which can't be recovered. So here this Vasola is trying to convince her that that hand was the Antonio's hand, and now he has, now Antonio and her children, they all are dead. So now she must leave that all grief which he had, and because they cannot come back now. Okay, Duchess. There's not between heaven and earth one wish I stay for after this. It wastes me more than worth my picture fashioned out of wax, stuck with a magical needle and then buried in some foul dunghill and yawns an excellent property for a tyrant which I would account mercy. So here is she, she really became sad to know that and she for the moment she just took it the reality, like her family has died. It was not her all children, because two of her children were with her, but only one child, her eldest son was with Antonio, but she thought that Antonio has died, or as well as her eldest son. So that is how she's describing her her grief. Okay. And then she's saying, she's just comparing, like there's not between heaven and earth one wish I stay for after this. She just is saying that I don't want to live after this, after hearing that Antonio and her eldest son has died. It weighs me more than buried my picture, fashioned out of. She's just comparing a kind of any portrait made, her portrait, and with she is just comparing with something, kind of magical thing, something black magic. So she's saying that it's more sorrowful for me than uh, she's just talking about herself, it's more uh, sorrowful for her than her own grief. Okay, but this is how she's talking about her grief. She's just talking about a portrait made of wax, and when needles are pierced into that portrait, how painful will it be? But she's saying that even this pain is more than this pain. Okay, Basola, what's that? That is, if they would bind me to that lifeless trunk and let me freeze to that. So here at the end, she was asking for mercy. Okay, here she was saying for a tyrant which I could account mercy. So she was asking for mercy. So which kind of mercy was it? Actually, she was saying, like, he was asking uh, to Ferdinand, uh, to kill her, as well, because her family had died. She thought that my family had died, so I should also be, dead now. So that's why Basola is asking, what's that? Now Duchess is replying, if they would bind me to that lifeless trunk. Lifeless trunk, she's just comparing, or she's just pointing towards that that hand, the body of Antonio, and let me freeze to that. Now she's saying, so I cannot live that in that way. Um, so just let me freeze to death. Okay, Vasola. So Basola is saying, come, you must live. That's the greatest torture souls feel in hell. In hell, that they must live and cannot die. Portia, I'll new kindle thy coals again, and revive the rare and almost dead example of a loving wife. Okay, so Portia, she's giving a classical reference of a woman uh, who also died, for for her husband. So that's why she's just using her name. But here she's saying that this is the greatest torture, living in this way, living in this hell, because she the way she was living there in the prison, and the news which she heard. So now it had become a hell for her to live at that place. So she's saying that this is the greatest torture, mm, uh, that when you want to die, but you have to live with that life. And here she was talking about that Portia, or she was giving that reference, that because she, as she died for her husband, so I also want to die. I want to lose my life. So Sola of fire, despair, remember, you are a Christian. So he's saying that, this is talking about suicide. This is something uh, uh, for you know not in Christianity. Okay. Duchess. The church enjoins fasting. I'll starve myself. Okay. So after hearing this thing, so she's saying, when he was talking about the suicide, so she's saying, um, I will starve myself to death. Basola, leave this vain sorrow. Things being at the worst begin to mend. The bee when hath shot his sting into your hand made and play with your eyelid. So he's saying that when the things are, don't get that much distressed, because when the things are at their worst, things start, becoming. Um, he has used the word man, so these start becoming good. They turn in your favor. That is good, comfortable fellow, persuade our rage that spoke upon the wheel, to have all his bones new set, entreat him live to be executed again, who must dispatch me. I count this world a tedious theatre, for I do play a part in the against my will. So she's saying that, the which kind of things are, the comfort you want to give me, are the things which you are, telling me, this the life which, this is a life, when I have just completely broken, and you are saying me to become, normal again, and then to be executed. So you are saying me just to become, to be normal, in order to be executed again, means in order to suffer again. So which kind of, advice you are giving to me? And she's saying, I count this world as a tedious theater, for I do play a part in the against my will. So whatever I'm doing, that is all against my will. Sola, come, be of comfort. I'll save your life. So Duchess, indeed, I have not laid to tend so small a business. Basola, now, by my life, I pity you, Duchess. Thou art a fool then, to waste thy pity on a thing so wretched as can't pity itself. I'm full of daggers. Puff, let me blow those vapors from me. Okay. So she's saying, if you are having any kind of pity on me, that is something, mm, you know, Vexa, but what is the problem with your mic?
What do you mean?
Like, better there's a noise continuously coming towards me, and it's disturbing me. I don't know.
Okay, I'll mute myself.
Okay. So now servant and to servant. What are you? Okay. So servant, one that wishes you long life. So this is servant enters there. That is, I would thou word hanged for the horrible cause thou hast given me. I shall shortly grow one of the miracles of pity. I'll go pray. No, I'll go curse. So he just is starting, when and the servant enters there. So he just says that one that wishes you long life. So Duchess started cursing him for wishing her long life. This is how she was, she was disturbed, or she was showing her sufferings, how she was living in a horrible, way. So then Vasola, oh fie, that is, I could curse the stars. Vasola, oh fearful, that is, and those 3 smiling seasons of the year into a Russian winter, made the world to its first chaos. Vasola, look you, the stars shine still. So this is how she was so much disappointed from everything which she was facing. So she is just cursing everything. She started cursing the servant. She started cursing the seasons. She started cursing stars. But Basola is trying to give her some hope, and he's saying like, "Look, you, the star shines still." So he's just saying to give her hope. There's a still hope. So Duchess, oh, but you must remember, my curse hath a great way to go. Plagues that make lens through largest families consume them. Okay, so this is how she's saying that she's she is not soothing herself with the words which Basula was giving her at the hope, but she's going on with her own curses. Basula, fie lady, Duchess, let them like tyrant never be remembered but for the ill they've done. Let all the zealous prayers of mortified churchmen forget them. So she's saying that those those tyrants who have done wrong things in this world, they must be punished. They must not be remembered here in this world but only for their bad deeds. So Bisola, oh uncharitable. So now, okay. Yes, Alexa, now you are going to read from here, beta.
Let heaven a little while
Hmm.
cease crowning cutters to punish them.
Hmm.
Go howl them this and say, I long to bleed.
Hmm.
It is some mercy when men kill with speed.
Okay, what do you mean by these lines?
Hmm,
Okay, I'm going to show you. Yes. Okay.
I
Okay.
think he's trying to curse.
Yes. Yes. Let heaven a little while cease crowning martyrs to punish them. Go hold them this and say, I long to bleed. Yes, she's cursing again, and she's wishing to die. Okay, and she's talking about it is some mercy then when men kill with the speed. So she just want to be murdered. Okay, okay, read this.
Excellent as I would wish, she plagued in art. These presentations are but framed in wax by
Mm,
the curious master in that quality,
mm,
Centino Loriola, and she takes them for true substantial bodies.
mm. What do you mean by this?
Uh, uh, I don't really understand that.
Okay, this is what Ferdinand is saying. Ferdinand was just gave her a dead man's hand to her, and he just told her that that was the Antonio's hand. So now Ferdinand is happy on that thing by seeing her that like he thinks that that was the hand of Antonio, and she has become hopeless now. uh, and she's completely disappointed and she wants to die. So the way he saw her, he saw the Duchess, so he's happy on the thing. Okay, and he's saying that that was something not true, the hand which I gave her, That was not Antonio's hand, but that was, something else. Okay, he actually wants to say that that was something, a kind of, a kind of portrait, you know. So he's saying that these presentations are but framed in wax by the curious master in the quality, and he's telling about the person who made such, such things. And when Sancho Loriola, and she takes them for two substantial bodies, and he's saying that she took that hand, she took that thing, whatever we wanted to tell her, she took it true. Okay, so Basola, why do you do this? Basola is saying, why are you doing this much cruelty with your sister? So Ferdinand, to bring her to despair. Okay, this was the purpose of Ferdinand. So Basola, faith, end here. So he's just praying Ferdinand that to stop this thing. Okay, and go no farther in your cruelty. Send her a penitential garment to put on next to her delicate skin, and furnish her with beads and a prayer box. So he's saying just give her rest. Okay, penitential clothes are when you mourn, when you are condition of mourning, you wear those clothes. So he's saying just give her, give her rest, give her kind of, those garments, and so that she should live, she should have some time for herself. Okay, and here he's talking about with beads and prayer books. So give her prayer books. I think he's talking about some kind of religious books, so that she should get some kind of relief from these things. So Ferdinand, damn her, the body of hers, while that my blood ran pure in it, was more worth than that which thou wouldst comfort, called a soul. So he's just damning her, and he's saying that, her, her body first, while, okay, so he's just saying that the the blood, the body of her, uh, was more worth than her soul. Okay, so he's saying that as she used to live, as she was before these all things, that was, he liked that thing. And he's calling it, while that my blood ran, because they were siblings, while that my blood ran pure in it, was more worth than that which thou wouldst comfort. Okay, called, so then her soul. So he is not talking about her soul, her sufferings as she's feeling now. So I will end her masks of some courtesans, have her meat served up by bawds and ruffians, and cause she'll needs be mad. I'm resolved to remove for the common hospital all the mad folk, and place them near her lodging. Let and they'll let them practice together, sing and dance, and set their gambols to the full of the moon. If he can sleep, the better for it. Let her. Your work is almost ended. So this is the kind of um, another additional thing for of Duchess for his sister to torture her. Okay, to add more to her miseries. So now he's planning to send some of the madmen to go there and to live next to her lodgings, in order so that she should get, distressed, uh, and she should not be able to sleep in the house, or in the noises of those madmen which they are going to make there. So he's just, you know relocating. There were some kind of madmen living, maybe living in that palace, so he's just relocating them um, next to her lodgings, in order to disturb her more. So Basola, must I see her again? So he's asking that whether I have to go again to her. So Ferdinand, yes. Basola, never. Basola was not ready on that thing because the way Ferdinand was treating um, his sister, so Basola was really having pity on her now. So Ferdinand, you must. So Ferdinand is saying that you have to. So Basola, never in mine own shape, that's forfeited by my intelligence and this last cruel lie. When you send me next, the business shall be comfort. So he's saying, when he just Ferdinand said that you have to go. So now Basola is saying, okay, I'll disguise myself. I'll not go the way as I used to go, but I'll disguise myself because he did not, wanted to aid uh, more in her sufferings. So Ferdinand, very likely that it is nothing of kin to thee. Antonio lurks about Milan, thou shalt shortly thither to feed a fire as great as by revenge, which never will slack till it have spent his fuel. Intemperate agues make physicians cruel. So now he's saying that the way you are behaving, he's saying to Basola, the way you are behaving, that you are showing your pity on her, this is not, as you are. He's saying that pity is not, uh, pity is no relation to you, okay? It doesn't suit you the way you are behaving, okay? So, and then he starts planning for Antonio as he knows that Antonio is in Milan and he's taking revenge from Antonio. This is how this scene acts here. Okay, now we are moving to next scene, which is Act 4 and Scene 2. Okay, scene same as before, enter Duchess and Crayola. So now you are going to read from here. Yes, Rexa.
What hideous noise was that?
Hmm.
'Tis the wild consort of madam lady,
Hmm.
which your tyrant brother hath placed about your lodging.
Hmm.
This tyranny, I think, was never practised till this hour.
Hmm. Okay. So yes. So what do you think of this?
Um, he actually went through with the plan of putting the madman next to her,
Yes.
and she's getting disturbed, and she thinks that it only started now.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Yes. This was the noise of those madmen, and then Crayola tells her that these are the people who have been put next to your lodgings by your brother. Okay. That is, indeed, I thank him. Nothing but noise and folly can keep me in my right wits, whereas reason and silence make me shark mad. Sit down. Discourse to me some dismal tragedy. So in fact, she is happy with this because these people uh, were put there in order to make her torture, but she is she's saying that this is something which is going to give me relief because when I'm silent, so the silent makes me completely, she is talking about silent makes me completely mad. So this thing is going to distract me from my own thoughts, okay, and disclose to me some dismal tragedy. So she's just saying to Carayola that tell me some tragedy so that I may get relief from my own sufferings. So Crayola, oh, it will increase your melancholy. So he's saying that it will increase your melancholy, your sadness. So Duchess, thou art deceived to have greater grief would lessen mine. This is a prison. So he's saying that we are already living in prison, and the tragedy or the thing story which you're going to tell me,